Hi folks, I'm back again, another video, and I ain't been on for a while. I know that it's been pretty cold out in the shed, but you wonder what I'm looking at, and it's this one here. It's a Man from U.N.C.L.E, and I haven't done one of these yet. So without further ado, as you can see, this ain't in bad condition really. I got this from eBay. I've been looking for ages to get one, and I was hoping to get one that is complete. And as you can see, I've got the original spotlights with it, and the old periscope is there. Everything is all original stuff. There's no tyres on it, but that's nothing. There's plenty of reproduction tyres. And well, anyway, I'm gonna start drilling this puppy out, and then you can see what the inside's like, because there is quite a few pieces that go inside this, surprising or not. So again, now as you can see, I've got a little pilot hole there on both rivets. I've managed to make a bit of a starting point for myself, and get the old drill in there, and then you just drill down so far, not too far. Till you get like so far down, as you can see. Same on the other one. There's a nice bit of torque on this one. You can start slow and then you can just gradually build up. Yeah, get the old shrapnel off the end, don't want that. That's all ready for next time now. And that's how I do that. And then keep it tidy as we go. Once you've got the two drilled down so far into the rivets, you can get the heads off then. And with this one I uses me battery drill again, another one. This is just an ordinary cheap thing I've had for years, but I keep the big drill in this one to drill the tops of the rivet heads off. And then all you do then is you put them in them holes you just drilled. It's better if I hold this a bit closer to the camera really, so you can see. I don't know if you can see it from there. Not really, there's not enough light, but hang on. I'll do it that way. You see how that's taking the top of the rivet head off? See, that's the trouble when you're making these videos for YouTube. It's so awkward when you only got one pair of hands to try and get the angles, the camera angles, so that everybody can see. I'm trying my best, folks, but you get the idea. I'm going to do the same with the other one. You can only do your best, you can't do better than that. It's easy enough to work out what I'm doing. Anyway, as you can see, get that bit of shrapnel off of there. Now, this should just come apart easy peasy. There you go. Just lifts off. Got your wheels there, look. Base plate. Let's clean this up a bit a minute, because this is annoying me. I hate working where it's mess everywhere. Right, let's brush this out of the way. so annoying when you got a working mess. I like to clean it, keep it clean as I go. It's a lot easier. Plus it's less clean up at the end. Right. Anyway, once you've done that, you see how complicated this could be. I mean, if you want to, you could get your mobile or something and just take a picture of that to see how it goes back in, but it'll only go in one way at the end of the day. So just take it all out, and that's all I did first time. Just took it all out and I worked it out for myself. It's not difficult. Get the little men out. Just give it a shake like that, it all comes out. It'll only go back in one way. He don't want to come out like that. This chap here, the white one, which is Napoleon, he don't want to come out. Right, anyway, forget about him for a minute. He'll come out in a minute. Now what you got to do now, this periscope, you got to make sure it's flat on the roof like that. Put your thumb there, hold that. So you've got the top of it, and as you notice around that, it's like fluted. It's like a little trumpet. What you got to do is squeeze these parts together slightly with a pair of pliers, just ordinary flat ones, and just squeeze up that part like that. Just keep going around it, because you've got to near enough straighten it out so it's flush, because you don't want to damage it, because it's going to be a pain to get back in and flare apart again. When you put it back in, you got to put something down there and flare that open again so it don't fall out of the roof when you finish the model. So you got to just try and get it enough. Just gradually work your way around nice and gently so it's near enough straight. Then it should. See, it won't go out yet because there's a bit on that side, but you've got to keep going around it and try and get it nice and flush. So it's just like an ordinary bit of tube, and then you should be able to. I mean, that shouldn't be far off now. Get your pliers in there, and then just get them like that, and then just work it out. See, that's coming out now. If you look underneath there, well, it's nearly coming out. I'm lying. It's not coming out, is it? It's going to be one of them awkward ones. That's alright. Just keep going around. Try doing it that way. Just spin it around like that. Hold the top straight, and just move your pliers around the bottom of the actual periscope to try and get it all sort of straight if you can, if you know what I mean. And then again, just try and work it out. It will eventually come out. There you go. It comes out with a pop. Right, now if you look at the end of that now, there's just like a little tiny lip on it. Because that's the way when you put it back in, you've got to flare this out again to stop it falling out of the seating when you actually got the car back together. But you want to leave that like it is now, that's alright. And there you go, it all comes out that. The men comes out, you can clean them off. Napoleon, Solo, and Ilya Kuryakin. And there's these seats. Right, that's that. Right, you get your spotlights, they'll just pop out quite easily. I think there's metal ones in here actually. They didn't have many of they around. That windscreen's no good, so I have got a new windscreen for it. And there's one for like that. And there's the other one. And they can be cleaned up, see? All that got to be cleaned up anyway. And that's all got to be. I don't know what that's from. Who cares? It's just a little bit off the bottom there, I think. Oh, it's come off there. Well, it ain't going to matter anyway. But give that a good clean. Give all this a good clean. I think this roof, looking at it, looks a bit wayward, doesn't it? So all you do with that, if I grab my little magic hammer, that's all you need for that. And all you got to do is give it a few taps. Maybe give it a couple of little tweaks. It will gradually find its shape again. It is coming, yeah. You gotta be careful, because if you go too far, that's not too bad. If you go too much with that, and you look at it now, it's a lot straighter than it was. And I'd leave it at that. Right, this is what I use. Caustic soda. I mean, there's a chap in Australia called Marty's Matchbox Makeovers. He does pretty good stuff. And I did message him to say, you know, try this out. But he done it with cold water. It doesn't work with cold water. It's got to be hot. That's why I've got the old kettle boiling now. I'm going to show you how it's done. So Marty, if you're watching, just watch this. Put your hot water in. It's pretty dangerous stuff. I mean, I should be wearing gloves really, because this, if it gets on your skin, then it will burn you. Because it is like, well, caustic soda is like an acid stuff, and it's not good on your skin. But what you do, if you're careful, you can use it. It strips paint in no time. You just sprinkle it in on, and it comes up like a volcano. It erupts, and that's all you do. You put that in. Using paint stripper is okay, but well, it doesn't get everything off. You got to go in with gaps and with pins, getting all the bits out of the little gaps. This stuff really gets it off. Just let that go for a minute. And then when it comes out of that, it should be clear. You can see it popping up now. But you should be pretty good. It should be pretty clean when it comes out. If I can get me pliers just to show what paint's come off. There you go, Marty. Try that on your Matchbox revivals. That is good stuff. Look at the paint come off of that already. It's almost clean. It's literally falling off. See? Inside is virtually clean. That's the stuff to use. I don't use paint stripper, it's too boring. It takes too long. Get the old caustic soda on it, that's all you need, and it just falls off. Right, so this is what you end up with. All the paint has now been stripped. The caustic soda has done its job inside and out, as you can see. The next phase of the operation is to get your brush and give it a good scrub, give it a good shine up. Just give it a good scrub all over like that. And you see the, if I do half of this roof, you can see it a lot easier. Got to get all that muck off. Like that, you see. You can see the difference. You can see the difference of what I've done there. So, the cleaner that is from that. You've got to do that all over on the inside. I just the inside just a quick job really. But anyway, once you've finished all that, you should end up. So anyway, once you've done all that, I've done the base plate. What you've got to do is go over the car and look for little faults. Like for instance, like the front of this bonnet. I don't know if you can quite see it in the light. If you look very carefully, there, you can see like all little nicks and whatever. Well, what I try to do is get all these out with a file, but to try and not to, file too much off. Otherwise you won't be left with nothing. But if you just go over and check over the car, like there on the back, there's like little nicks. See, all the little nicks will show up when you paint it. If you want a nice finish, you don't want to see all these little nicks everywhere. You want it to look like a brand new one. The bumpers isn't too bad on this one actually. Usually you get quite a few nicks on the bumpers where they've been crashed into other cars when they was played with. But that's the next job, is to get rid of all those little nicks, so you've got a nice clean body to paint. Anyway, I'm going to get on with that, and then I'll show you the finished result, and then we'll get on to spraying it. Right, as you can see from this, I've now finished preparing this for spraying, and as you can see, I did actually split that, but I've repaired it. If you look closely, you can see it's all the gap is all been filled up, and all I used was a bit of super glue just to fill the gap up, and then a bit of undercoat. So now that roof's nice and straight, and even all these edges have been cleaned up. So now the next stage will be the spraying. Oh, and then I've done the base plate. I've already sprayed the base plate. All I've used is just your ordinary undercoat stuff really, grey primer. I mean, grey primer, it does just the job, that with a bit of lacquer on top. That's all I use for these base plates really, but when they're grey, I mean grey's grey to me, and then that does the job. Right, let's get on with the spraying of the body. Right, I'm taking a chance with this. I'm hoping it's going to be warm enough to spray, but this is the colour I use, if you can see that. Imperial Blue Pearl Sayat. Seems to be the best colour for this car. So let's just hope it's not too windy. Give it Good going over underneath, or the inside I should say. Intermittent blasts, that's all you got to do. And don't be tempted to put too much on it on the first coat. You just need a light coat, and that's all you need, just like that. And that should do it for the first part. Right, the next job is a bit of cleaning really. It's the parts that we got to polish up now. Now these are the spotlights here, and what I use for that is my multi-tool. And all you do is just get the old little repair pliers, give them a good clean up. Get all that muck off. I mean, as you can see from that, that's a lot cleaner already, you see. It's a lot different. So all you gotta do is give them a clean up. I've done the other one already. While we're waiting for the paint to dry on our shell, I'll just go around and do all these. That one's finished, these nice and clean now. And the only other bit is the wheels really, just give them a good going over. Just over here like that. If you put your finger there, you can get the drill on there, or your cleaning brush, and you'll see the wheels turning. And eventually, nice and shiny like that. Do the underneath. Give the axle a bit of a clean. And then do the other one. And that's what you end up with, a nice shiny wheel. Nice and shiny there, that. Whereas I've already done, got new tyres on that one, that's already ready to go back. And the only other bit then is to clean off all these parts in a bit of soapy water. I've done the windscreen. I've got another windscreen in there for a Saint car I'm doing. This is a Saint car here, I've stripped it all down and that's got to be painted up. And got this screen there for it, that. So. that's another job anyway. But there's the U.N.C.L.E screen, and the brand new U.N.C.L.E screen in the bag. And that's about all for now. And then when when the paint's dry on this car, I shall be assembling it in the next video. Well, not in the next video, the next clip, I should say. But let's get on and clean these up. You don't need to see how I do this, because all it is a matter of a bit of soapy water and a tough brush, really, and just give them a good scrub. Clean all these bits up. Just soapy water, that's all I use. And then once all these bits is all ready to cleaned up, then I'll be assembling. Right then, here we go. All the parts is all sprayed up now, all clean. Got them all laid out here. First of all, we need this bit. So you get your windscreen, drop it in, stick that back down there. Then you get your seating part, and you put your little men in. I'll put they in now because they're easier to get in before you actually, you know, when you put the bottom on. So if you get them ready, like, well, I'll do that again. But anyway, once you've got your screen, you put your spotlights in, let them drop in, and they're easier to get in while the seating is out. It's got a bit more room. Drop them in like that. As I say, get your little men, drop them in the sides, like so, and then you just let that. It's got that piece here. It's got to be up against this bar. There's a little bar right there, and if you get the front of that up against there, you know that's how far it's got to go in. So you just let your men drop in like that. Once they're moving freely, you know they're in there properly. And now the periscope, you put your periscope back in. The periscope is going to go in facing backwards like that. So you've got the tunnel bit facing towards the rear, and it drops in nice and easy like that, you see. And you've got it poking up like that then. So then what you've got to do then, now this is the awkward bit. I'll move all this out of the way. You've got to try and make this the end of the periscope. I don't know if you can see it. I'll probably zoom in a bit. You've got to make the end of that periscope fluted. You've got to flute it outwards again, so it doesn't fall through the seating part when you put the actual bottom on the car. You know, when you've got it all back together, you don't want the periscope coming out the roof again. So you've got to try and flute that back to as it was before. Right, I've put it in a vice, and I've clamped it around the flat pieces of the actual periscope so that the actual thing is away from the car. And the best thing to use in this is a Phillips screwdriver, and then all you do is put it into the end of the periscope and just gradually just turn it. A bit of pressure, not too much, and just turn it like that, and that'll gradually flare out the end of this periscope like that. See, it's gradually flaring out now again. So as when you go to shut it, when you've finished to hoe, it should be flared out again. I'll give it a couple of little tweaks with the pliers as well. You know, she'll put a nice rounded end of the plier in, give it a few little bits of pressure just to get the end of flute out a bit, like it used to be before you took it out. Like I say, this is a very awkward, this is the most awkward part of doing an uncle car actually. But anyway, once you've done that, that should be enough. There, it's not coming out now. You only need a little bit. But that's all it needs. Is a little bit like that. Just so that it stops the actual power screw from falling out. Because if you go too much, it won't operate the clicking for the men to pop in and out the car properly. If you go too far with that. So I think that's about right now. I'm going to leave that like that. And put the rest of the parts in. Right, so now that bit's done, the awkward bit, the most awkward bit, as I said. The next part is put all these other pieces back in. Now you got this metal piece. This is the actual bit that acts as a spring type thing. But before you put that in, it goes the other way around anyway. You've got to get this piece here onto the black man. This is the awkward one to get in. Actually, you can take him out and do that because he comes out, but the white one doesn't come out once you got the seating part back in. As you noticed earlier, I had a job to get him out when I actually undrilled the car. So if you put that back in like that, just get that through there, it'll find its own spot, and then just fiddle around with it, and then it'll just drop in like that, and the little bits going up, as you can see. See, it just drops in like that. Then you've got the next part. That's when you put this piece in. Now this piece, you have the long bit going up there like that, and then just drop it down. It's got to go under the, hang on if you can see what I mean. That drops, you got a little stud there, but you've got to have a piece on there. That piece, that little edge piece, has got to be, see here, it's just over this bar piece, that little edge, it's on top of that bar. You got to have it like that, and then you put your this piece here on each little man, so it's like that, off the little studs at the back of the men, and then just drop your wheels in like this. Drop your wheels in like that. Get your base plate. Just drop it on. And there you have it. Get that dust off of there. Getting a bit dusty. And there you have it. And then you can try it out if you want to. I don't know if you can see it very good. Oh, the back's come. I've let the base plate come off a bit. Alright. I don't know if you can see either side. The little men coming out. You can just about see them. But once you know you've done that, then you know it's going to be alright. So you can see they don't pop out a lot anyway. So you know, there's not much you can't make them pop out more than what they should do, but that's all you do. And it's just a case of putting the rivets in, which I'm going to do next. Right, so the next part now, I've got my rivets here, And all you get a little tiny drop of super glue, and just let it fall in the hole. Like that. And you get your rivet. Just drop it in. Very awkward, this bit. These rivets are so small. And just push it in like that. And I usually use the back of a foil or something just to push it in slightly. Let that go for a minute. I've already prepared these rivets. You've seen one of my earlier videos, I put dimples in the top and I put a bit of pencil. All you need is a bit of pencil over them, just ages them with it. Get the old pencil like that and put it in there, and just takes the shininess off of them and it makes them look a bit more original than just putting any old rivet in there. It makes them look more like the ones that come out. So then you get the back one, and it's just the same as the other one, really. Get a dab of super glue, drop it in like that. Same procedure. I've had a lot of comments with people wanting to know how you put these rivets in. Well, that's all there is to it, really. I never bothered making or really showing you how to put the rivets in really before, because I thought it was a bit straightforward. Like, I didn't think there was anything complicated about it. I thought the subscribers would have worked it out for themselves, really, but there you go, that's how you do it. So I've shown it in this video, so I shouldn't have to show it again now. Shouldn't get any more questions about that. But there, that's that done. And now, there you go. There it is. Just cause it's dusty in this shed. Needs a spring clean when the summer comes. Well, the only next bit, really, I suppose I'll have to show you that, or will I? It's just the case. Well, actually, I'm not going to show you that, but next bit, because it's all it is just painting in the back with the silver paint, the chrome, doing the red bits in the little hose there, and it's just a case of chroming your bumpers, or silvering them up, silvering all this up, and just putting a sticker on the front, really. But there's the car put together, and I've actually got some. All you got to do, I mean, you can buy them, but I've managed to cheat and I've actually made some myself. It's the decals, the U.N.C.L.E decals. I've got them here somewhere in amongst this stock. I've got loads of decals here in this box. I should sort them out. And it's just a case of sticking one on the bonnet, and then that's the car finished. And I'll show you the finished article in just a sec. There you go, that's how you do the U.N.C.L.E car. So I hope you join me again in the next video. And I don't know when the next one's going to be, because I don't really know what the car I can do. I was thinking about a Green Hornet, so I might do that one, the Black Beauty Green Hornet, but I've got to get hold of one. So till next time, hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, subscribe, and look forward to seeing you again. But cheerio for now.